Welcome to Second Down. I am not Christian Gokel. I'm much better looking. I am Kevin Thomas.
Agreed.
Cam Ristry is here. And Cody Queen. Cody, your last day with us today, man. I'm filling in for Christian. Glad I can do it. And we got obviously a lot to get to here on the show. But again, I'm glad that if I could be a part of it, again, you'll be with us on 3 and Out, but I could be a part of both of the last shows. That makes me feel good, man. Even though you're leaving us,
it makes me feel amazing because the first day I came in was you and a few others. Christian was not here yet. Christian came after me. Like we were saying earlier, when I came in, the company 3 and Out was only 2 and Out. There was only 4 other people in there. Now this company's growing more than I guess what you would ever imagine, and I've imagined that we've got quite a number of employees.
Yeah,
we got new coming in the future. I'm proud to be a part of this company. I'm proud to see how it's grown. Even from now, we got a partnership with BC in the fall. Now it's more than what we ever thought of. Being a pleasure to work with you. You being my boss forever.
Please.
I've never came not one day that I've came and was like, crap, I got to go to work today. Every day I came in, hung out with my best friends, which has became you and Christian. Every day I get to come in. I look forward to coming in. I'm going to miss Saturday mornings with the Back Nine boys. I take pride in doing that show. I was never late to a show. I've never been late to this job at all because I like doing it. So I guess the more you like doing it, the more you want to get here. So I love it, and I'm gonna miss you guys.
Hey, we're glad you've been able to stay with us as long as you have, man. I know you're moving on, but we're sad to see you go. But obviously, best of luck. I'm not going to be like Debbie Downer the whole show, Cam. I mean, even though I could, I mean, the Hawks got annihilated last night. So I mean, I'm just starting out with nothing but tears and sadness here, filling in for Christian.
Yeah, I miss my man Cody, man. He was the first guy I met when I first got here. Just brought me in. It was great people to me and been like a big bro to me. So definitely going to miss him.
Yeah. Also, I was the intern director for a very long time. All the interns, I want to thank you guys for enjoying the ride along. We've had a bunch of interns that have moved on and got different careers out there. And now we have new interns that are in like Southern Brits in here and all that stuff. Cam is doing great things. One of my favorite interns, if not my favorite intern that I've ever had, was Cam. I know it's kind of little wrench got thrown in there from freaking COVID. That kind of screwed everything up. But I've had a blast. And but the Hawks, guys.
Yeah. That was rough, Cam.
Yeah, where you at, Cam, huh?
I'm still here, man. I still have the Hawks at 7. It's still, I still have the confidence, man. But
yeah, he's calling in 7, Kevin.
Oh no, it's just moving back. Well, no, listen, I think the Hawks can do it. I think it's all depending on if they get Trae Young back, and if so, is he 100%? Because now you're in desperation mode. I mean, right? You have to win the next 2. You have to go 2-0 to move on. So it's simply to me a matter of if Trae Young can go, you got to play him, and even if he's maybe not 100%, I think you got to have some of that to go with you in this ball game because again, even without Giannis last night from Milwaukee, I mean that was rough. The Hawks did not have an answer, and I know it was in in Milwaukee, so you didn't get the home crowd to it. But man, you just missed that little bit extra you get from Trae Young that he's developed here in 2021, man. Where it's like, hey, give it to me, I'll put the team on my back. And we'll make some plays happen. And again, you were down early and never really fully got back in it last night. And again, I think without Trae Young, I just can't see this Hawks team moving on. And that's not to say it's a disaster. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, this is the best Hawks team anybody's ever seen in Atlanta. So you got that going for you, but I do think you need Trae back, Cam, on Saturday. If you can get anything out of him, that'd be a big help to trying to win Game 6.
Yeah, they need him back immediately. Last night it kind of everything came back to reality after winning Game 5. Game 4. My bad. After winning Game 4, you need Trae back. Okay, he rested up the last 2 games. This is going to be 6 days when it comes to being Game 6. You need him back. These are the 2 biggest games in Hawks history, but Atlanta sports history as well. If you want to say that, these are big games because they have a chance to go to the finals and actually win the finals for the first time ever. And the Bucks beat them last night with their experience. They're a deep team. Bobby Portis came through, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Brook Lopez looked like the second coming of Shaq last night. But uh, he did. Capella, he got ate up. But John Collins, like you said, Cody, yesterday, where was he at last night? He started off 0-6, didn't show up. You have to have him show up to win this series as well, not just Trae Young. So they need Trae back next game, and I think he will be.
This is what happened last night. The Bucks, 4 guys shot over 20 points. And the way they were getting points were not from the three. They weren't really shooting threes much. It was in the paint. They got 66 points in the paint compared to the Hawks 36. They smoked them in the paint. They were bigger. They were more physical. And also the turnover game. I know you guys saw that crap. Sometimes they'd be coming down. They'd straight up manhandle them. Like, I'm a bigger, tougher man than you. I'm just going to grab the ball from you. It wasn't a like missed cross or something like that, or like a bad pass. It was literally just them snatching the ball out of your hand and going down and attacking you in the paint the whole time. The Hawks had 14 turnovers yesterday. 14 turnovers. If you can't stop them in the paint on top of having your turnovers like that, then you're going to lose the game every time. It doesn't matter if you have Trae in there or not. If you're having 14 turnovers a game and you're not physical enough, Trae doesn't play defense much. You know what I mean? So he's not stopping 66 points in the paint. They didn't lose because they didn't have Trae. They lost because their defense was atrocious.
Well, that's part of it, but I think Cam, you bring up a great point. I mean, if one superstar's out, who's the closest thing you have to another superstar? It's John Collins, first round draft pick. He's been with the team his whole career. Kind of has a rep. And as you said, he no-showed in the early part of that game, and it was over. I mean, it was over before you had a chance to really get back in it. And so I think if Trae can't go, John Collins has to step up in some way and say, give me the ball. Let me go out there and score. And again, I know Lou Williams had a good game. Go back game 2 games ago, game 4. I was kind of worried that Lou Williams, a guy at this stage of his career, is kind of that number 2 guy that like, is he going to really go out there and drop 20 plus again and be that everything guy, the straw that stirs the drink? I thought maybe he could do it some, but it just the track record in this season wasn't there. They're like, hey, he's the guy that's all of a sudden going to put the team on his back consistently. So to me, it falls on John Collins. And as you said, Cam, when you no-show in the first quarter or so, I mean, that's tough. You can't have that. And they got so far behind, it probably wouldn't have mattered what he did the rest of the game to get back and try to win game 6 or game 5, excuse me.
Yeah, they were down 28-10 at some point in the first quarter. That's terrible. And John Collins, he started off 0-6. You cannot do that when you're the number 1 option when Trae goes out. You want a max contract, you have to play like you want a max contract. And last night he didn't. But the bright side that I took from this, Bogdanovich, 28 points, 7-16 from the 3. He looks healthy again. So if you could get his crime partner Trae Young back, who's going to get you 25 plus and probably 10 assists, that can even it out. But you're right, Cody, it's the defense. They have to find a way to stop the X factor, Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis has gotten in the last 2 games. He's came in and he's brought a lot of energy. He brought a lot of energy game 3 as well. And Drew Holiday's been looking good as well. So it is a defensive issue, but I think giving Trae back stops a lot of bleeding.
Well, the weak link yesterday for defense was you had a man who's been playing minutes out the wahoo the whole season was Kevin Huerter. You know what I mean? He played 38 minutes, got 8 points. You're not expecting him. You would like to get him into double digits as usual, but he was getting smoked in the paint. Huerter was not himself without really having any help around him. So when you have no help around you, kind of sucks, especially at the beginning when you're getting smoked because John Collins is literally absent. Seemed like he wasn't even out. He was out there, but it just seemed like he wasn't even doing anything out there. So whenever you get that far behind from the get-go, it's demoralizing. And you're getting tired at the end of the game and you're already getting smoked by that. So I watched what I got from it at the very end. They were down by 15 back and forth. They literally had like 3 turnovers in a row going down. So then they came back and then they scored in the paint all time. Well, actually one was a corner 3 and 2 of them were in the paint. So at the end, it just seemed like it was like 3 minutes left. So they had time. No,
well,
it was just they couldn't do it.
And again, I think you move forward. It's can you win at home again in this series? If Trey can't go, I know the Atlanta crowd has been amazing, Cam, and I know people say, "Oh, Atlanta." Yeah, well, there's a reason. Most of the time, it's the opposing team's fans are louder than the Hawks fans when they go to Atlanta. Hawks crowds have been good this postseason. Can they feed off that and get a game 6 to force game 7? You say the Hawks in 7. Can they even get past Saturday night? I mean, it's going to be at home. Is that like the only thing that makes you feel good about it at that point?
Yeah, that's what makes me feel good about it. If you can get past them game 6, which I think you can at home, game 7's up for the takings. I've been watching it for years. It doesn't matter what's happening in the series. If you've gotten to game 7, that means you're even because it's 3-3. It's 3-all. It's just win or go home in that game, and anything can happen. But they have to take advantage of this game 6. The home crowd needs to come out Saturday night and be as loud as possible. This is the biggest home game in Atlanta Hawks history. You got to come out and make some noise, but they need Trae Young back. I don't think this time, like we saw in game 4, I don't think that would happen again where they win without Trae.
To me, he's the. I mean, if he can come back, I think that counterbalances obviously Giannis being out, and now it puts the pressure on Milwaukee to counter with Giannis being out. To me, when you look at it, oh man, Giannis is out, that maybe favors the Hawks, and then simultaneously Trey's out and can't play. So to me, that kind of leveled it back out. If you can get Trae back and up their superstar, I think that does swing things back into Atlanta's favor. And I'd feel better about your game 7 pick there, Cam, if I knew Trae could actually play and come out and be effective.
Yeah, I would feel better too. But, I have to stay. I'm one of those people, once I make that prediction, I'm sticking with it until I lose. So I would say Hawks in 7. I want to see them in the finals. I think it can be done. Trae Young at 80% is just fine. He can spot up and be a decoy, but you need that guy out there. He's a superstar, and I don't think Giannis is coming back for this series or the playoffs maybe. So you need him back out there.
You're calling all celebs going. 2 Chainz was on his Snapchat earlier saying, let's go. Because, he's an affiliate to the Skyhawks, the G League. And so he's a supporter of the Hawks, obviously. He was calling on everybody to get out there.
Is that the Hawks game?
Oh yeah. So
all the time.
He's calling everybody out. If you're an Atlanta rapper, he was calling out the Migos and all that stuff. If you are a part of Atlanta, he's telling them to come out, get some. He even said that he'll pay for some courtside tickets for some of his buddies and stuff like that. So he's trying to get everybody out there to the Hawks games because you're right. It is known to have more away fans.
When in the big game, it's always the case, man. It's like the Lakers come to town. There's nobody rocking the Hawks jerseys. It's Shaq and Kobe jerseys and all that. When now LeBron, when they come to town, the Celtics kind of the same way. So yeah, the Hawks have that rep of hey, it's everybody else's barn but ours when we play at home. But hopefully the Hawks fix that and have a big game 6 coming up on Saturday night. And they need to have it to get to a game 7 coming up first part of next week. We got more to come here. It's not 3 and out. It is second down. I am jumping the gun. Second down. We'll come back with more second down with Cody Quee, Cam Mercery. I'm filling in for Christian Gokel. I'm Kevin Thomas. See you soon. Good to have you here on this Friday. Kevin Thomas filling in for Christian Gokel. Cody Queen, he's in charge of the music today on Second Down.
Tyler Childers a little bit.
Yeah, and Cam Ursery joining us here on 3 and Out. I got to quit saying that.
Dude, we're better than you guys, all right? You can't do this.
I got to quit saying that. It's like muscle memory. You wake up in the morning, it's like, hey, the first thing you do is, I don't know, brush your teeth or whatever it is. Like, you just get out of bed and just like you start doing it. That's what it is, man. It's like it's come out. Hey, welcome to the 3 and Out. Even though we're not, this is Second Down.
I saw some on social media the other day. What is the first clothing you put on when you get out the shower and stuff?
Shorts.
Shorts? You said shorts?
Yeah, well, underwear and shorts.
Yeah, when you get out the shower and everything, you like dry off.
Or something?
Underwear?
Because usually if I'm showering, I'm getting ready to
Socks.
get out the house. Yeah.
Socks for me.
Why do you put that's strange.
Oh, that's strange.
I don't do socks. I do underwear. But this guy answered socks, so I don't know if he was just doing that to make everybody mad. But I think underwear is the go-to answer. You said shorts. You don't wear underwear then?
I mean, underwear then shorts. Granted, if I'm just in the house for the rest of the night, just shorts, man. I'm relaxing.
Yeah, I wear basketball shorts, no shirt. You know what I mean? Sorry, neighbors. I hang out my garage.
Why would you wear socks if you didn't have to? It's kind of
true.
The way I feel about it.
You know me, I don't even wear socks anyways. I wear flip-flops.
Well, that's kind of the point. You wear socks only because you're going somewhere where it's nice and it's like you don't want your feet smelling up the whole joint. So it's like, yeah,
it's true.
You have to put them on. But just to be around the house, no, I'm not putting socks on.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I don't think that's something a normal person would do.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm just saying.
If you're our buddy Salty Joey, you just put on shorts. He doesn't wear underwear ever.
Well,
that's unfortunate. That's unhealthy, right?
Hey, that's up to him. I'm not even going to go into that. But hey, where do we go from there, Cody?
Salty Joey.
But anyway, I lost my train of thought from
Braves
from that
winning another one, baby.
Yes, hey, Braves 2 out of 3 from the Mets. I will take. Should have had 3 out of 3.
Agreed.
If they didn't implode back on what was it, Tuesday? Should have had 3 out of 3. We could be talking about 2.5 game lead. Here in the East. But that series was huge, man. You get DeGrom last night. You hit him up for 3 runs. 3.5 game lead is nothing. I mean, it's going to take a little work to get there, but still, you went head-to-head with the Mets and were able to trim into that lead. I think that was huge, given that we're getting into the All-Star break. You're within striking distance, and we'll find out who's got it on the back end. I think last year, 60 games was a sprint. This is a marathon, and a lot of times, I tell people this all the time, it's like, go look at the standings historically of a lot of teams at the All-Star break and then go check back and see how it finished. A lot of times there is some movement, some teams that are 2-3 games out come off the radar and win. I mean, I tell this all the time. Granted, it was epically historic, but in the same season, the Braves blew an 8.5 game lead at the start of September and the Red Sox blew a 9 game lead at the start of September in the same season to both lose their division. So it is some things that happen, but you just want to be within striking distance. Cody, your Colorado Rockies, I think the year they went to the World Series, finished the regular season winning like 22 of 25 and came out of nowhere to get a wild card spot and then obviously won in the postseason to get to the World Series. So you want to stay within striking distance, and that's where the Braves are after a big couple of wins in the series.
Great stuff getting ready to happen in the division. Mets are going to play the Yankees. Pray to God they lose every single game. The Nationals are ahead of you right now. They are going to play the Dodgers. Yep. Pray that they lose every game. And guess who the Braves get at home? The Marlins. This could be the time where you creep up towards first place. And the Braves are a more fun team and a better team every single time Freddie Freeman does good. Freddie Freeman has been hot lately. The game before that, they scored 20 points. Freddie Freeman was straight up booking it to home plate, sliding, looking beautiful with that beautiful smile, MVP-ish. He's been doing good every time he does good. I feel like the rest of the team really gets hot around him. But a favorable schedule coming up for them. All they have to do is at least be in over 500 percentage during the series. So take 2 out of 3 at home and hoping that the Mets drop some, which is likely against the Yankees. They're almost like, would you say the Mets and Yankees are like an even type of team, like talent-wise?
It's a good big brother, little brother rivalry thing there where the Mets are certainly going to try to get over. But, yeah, I think the big thing for the Braves is if you can win 3 games in a row against the Marlins, regardless of what the Mets or the Nationals do, you could be, I'm almost afraid to say it, over 500. I mean, it's like you hate to say it, but
Yeah.
I think that's what you're still trying to get back to as well.
Yeah, we've been talking about this over 500 all year long. How many games has it been? 80. It's been 80 games now, and we've been saying over 500. But this is the most important stretch, in my opinion, before the All-Star break. You have 9 straight games against teams under 500. You playing the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are probably the worst team in the league, other than the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then you have the Marlins twice, so you have them 3 here, and then you play the Pirates for 3 games and 3 again. So if you could go, and I'm greedy, I would like to go 7-2 in that stretch. I would love to go 7-2, and you might find yourself in first place if you go 7-2. This is important. Braves need to take advantage of this, and they're looking good now. The Mets are a solid team. They should have went 3-0, blew that 3-0 lead Tuesday, but they're a solid team, and it's time to get this thing rolling before the All-Star break.
Are you afraid of the Nationals right now, there, Kevin? Because right now the Mets are slipping a little bit.
Yeah, the Nationals are, I think, the hottest team in baseball in terms of the way they've played over the last little stretch. Am I afraid of the Nationals, like in general? No, I think the Braves have traditionally played fairly well against them. I think they're a good matchup for Atlanta. So, again, goal number 1 is to get to 500 and let the rest take care of itself. Because, again, I think you turn the corner on the second half. You're going to see a lot of divisional play in some of these. You'll see some of these records start to slide back. And people have said all along, the National League East, it's so tough. I don't think you're going to see a wild card come out of the National League East. I don't know. The Dodgers and Giants, Padres out there, maybe that's where it happens. But I feel like at some point there's going to be a reckoning with the Giants potentially, and they start to slide back. Padres and Dodgers going to beat up on each other. I'm not so sure that you're not going to get a single wild card out of the East. We'll have to wait and see. But, the Braves, if you really go look at it, outside of the Toronto Blue Jays, have really feasted outside of the division. They beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3, handled the Cardinals when they played St. Louis, have been all over the Cubs in both series they've played them. I mean, when you get out of the East, the Braves have really played well to this point. And again, as Cam said, that bodes well to me, knowing you got the Pirates coming up, who are just a disaster, and the Marlins, who traditionally the Braves have played very well against. So you should have a 9-game stretch here where you should expect to go out and play really, really well.
Well,
night in and night out. 7-2, I don't think that's greedy at all, Cam. I think that would be a reasonable expectation. Maybe even if you want to get greedy, maybe say 8-1. I know that's hard just to chalk up in baseball, but 7-2 against the Marlins and the Pirates, to me, that should be a reasonable, attainable goal potentially for you to go out there and try to get.
If you're talking about like the schedule wise right now, so the Mets play the Yankees and then they play the Brewers. And then you have the Nationals. Who did I say they play?
They've got the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, and then they play the Padres. So when you talk about favorable schedules matchup before you go into the All-Star break, this is literally your chance. Don't screw it up. This is your chance for them to have a immensely harder schedule than you have the next 5 games than probably anybody else in the rest of all the other divisions in order to go up there and take first place.
I think that's the part you got to take advantage of when it turns in your favor a little bit and get some momentum going into the All-Star break, which, by the way, Freddie Freeman, Ronald Acuna going to be starters in the All-Star game for the Braves.
Let's go.
The Reds got 2, so you have 2 teams representing 4 of the 9 starting spots there in the National League. So really cool stuff for the Braves to get a couple of guys starting in that All-Star game.
Did Austin Riley not got in?
He might be a reserve. We'll have to wait and see, but he is not a starter. So we'll see what happens in the reserve voting as it comes through, or how the leagues decide to fill out those rosters there. We've got more to come here on 3 and Out. Of course, it's been a wild week. Did I do it again?
Second down, dude.
I just kick me
You're
off the show.
asking if I was going to host. Maybe I should have.
Huh? Yeah, you host the show the rest of the day because I cannot get it right. It is second down on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network. Cody, you said you were going to host from here on out. I was going to hand that over because I keep messing it up, but it's second down here on this Fridays. We get ready to head into the weekend, of course.
It's hard being the big boy's chair.
It really is. There's a lot of responsibilities that go with that, but we head into the weekend, man, and we've seen name, image, likeness be at the forefront of college since it came into effect yesterday, and certainly I think a lot of these deals that we're seeing is companies want to be first. Just say, hey, maybe it's not so much who it is. It's like, hey, we're first, and our company is the one that did it, and we get the name out there as far as that. But I will say this, and I do think we will see some athletes sign significant deals. Didn't think we would see this, but apparently Hersey Miller. Have you heard this story, Cam?
Hersey Miller. Oh, Master P son?
Okay. So Master P son, name, image, likeness, and he is a incoming freshman at Tennessee State, I believe, and he has signed a $2 million deal with a web and app development company for name, image, and likeness. So I think that's might be a little some way where dad can pay his son potentially a little bit. I don't know, but I just look at it and say, you want to use my name, image, likeness, and the first thing Cam said was, you mean Master P's son? Like that's like he's not known by his name, he's known as Master P's son, but apparently got a $2 million deal to have a web company, app development company, use his name, image, and likeness in promoting their business. I'm going to get $500K a year for 4 years in this deal, Cam.
That's crazy. I'll take $100K right now and move forward with that. But I mean, that's a lot of money. Me personally, I am glad to just see college athletes being able to be paid now. It's been a long time coming. They deserve it. They generate so much money. It's just been a long time coming. My biggest advocate right now, he's not asking for money, but he wants that trophy back, is Reggie Bush. I loved him growing up. I want him to get that trophy back. But I love it. They're being able to basically put themselves out there and promote themselves. And some people say it's bad for the sport. I think it's great for the sport. I really do. I love it. And let's see where this goes. This is just the beginning.
And I think it's I have been one that I was like, I don't necessarily think maybe you should pay players to play in college, but I do think that when it comes to name, image, likeness, like, hey, that's you. That's like that's kind of the bare minimum. It's like you could go out as Joe college student and say, hey, people know me from my YouTube channel or whatever it is you want to do, and you are allowed to make money on that. And I feel like that was like, that's the bare minimum you should be able to allow these guys to do, is say, look, I'm famous. Maybe I'm famous because of the sport I play, but if I can use that and go out and say, hey, I have a following, that following is going to lead me to a potential endorsement deal, or maybe not even an endorsement deal, a coaching gig or anything like that. I saw a player at Marshall. I don't know if you guys saw this. He said, hey, now that they've allowed us to make money on name, image, likeness, I'm going to be taking gigs and I can play under my name. And so I think he's an offensive lineman for Marshall, and he has a band. He's like, now I can actually go out and call myself the whatever band, because it's me, and they can actually pay me to come, play my music. So I that's the kind of stuff when you look at it, you take a step back and go, that's just ridiculous. That like, hey, here's a guy that he plays football, has a band on the side, he sings, he wants to be able to go to a local establishment and say, hey, can I come in and sing from 9 to midnight or whatever? Yeah. Oh, well, you can't pay me, and I can't say I play football. Okay, well, you're still not doing that, but now he can go in and do what he wants to do. And I mean, I just think that's fantastic. I think we've seen stories of guys at Georgia who have done music on the side and had some stuff like that. They couldn't monetize it until they were done, or try to anyway. But I think that'll be the interesting part, because people, I think, automatically assume name, image, likeness means, hi, I'm so-and-so. Come see me at this. No, and I don't think that's it at all. I think it's just a number of different avenues where it has been totally shut down, where they could not go out and kind of use their name to go make a buck, whether it's playing music or selling merch or what have you.
Or, okay, I want to go back on the Reggie Bush thing. So, Cam, you agree he should have his trophy back?
I think he should have never gotten taken.
I think he should have his trophy back. Kevin Thomas.
Well, I mean, here's
the old guy in the station.
I will be the old guy. My thing about Reggie Bush is this. If you want to go back and retroactively give it back to him, I guess that's fine. But he was punished for the rules that everybody was supposedly playing by at that time. So I guess if you're no longer going to enforce it, you can give the guy his trophy back if that's why you feel you took it away. But I will say, to just say, well, no, you were punished because of what happened was not permissible at the time. That happens all over the place, right? I think you have another case of that. The young lady who's on is it the 4x100 team? Who tested positive for marijuana, and people were saying, now wait a minute, is that frowned upon a lot of places? Sure. Is it frowned upon in athletic circles? Sure. Is it also legal to do in, I think, 19 states?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. So I think that's one of those things where you have to look at it and say, well, does that mean that somebody who got banned for smoking weed 15 years ago needs to have no, because you violated rules at this time. So I think we're seeing some of these things come up, Cam, where you have, this is what the rule was, this is what it's going to be moving forward, and I don't think you can go back and retroactively say, well, it's not a rule anymore, it was then, so here you go. I think everybody's playing by a set of rules. Obviously, the rules change day by day, week by week as we move forward, and as those adjust, then we can adjust how we enforce those, obviously. But I think that's on the Heisman Trophy to determine if he gets it back. But again, they took it from him because he violated rules that he was supposed to be following at the time, that I guess now would be in somewhat, not all of it, but somewhat permissible at this point.
I kind of want to, I guess, change my tone about it. Yes, I would like for him to get it back, but that's going to open the avenue for rule changes dramatically everybody else. So say Ricky Williams was suspended how many times for marijuana and lost how much pay? Much pay? And again, so that means he would try to go back and be like, hey man, you owe me money. Now that the rules have changed.
I understand why you would want to do that, but I don't think you can, because again, you were playing by the rules that were there.
Is it viable? Probably not.
I don't like doing stuff necessarily retroactively all the time. It's the same thing. Like, I hate when the NCAA goes back and takes away titles like they did with, the Fab Five and things like that. It's like, look, or the Final Four banners, and it's like, we all know who won the games. Like, I think that's when they're like, hey, we're going to strip so-and-so of their title. It's like, we all know who won the game. But just because you took it away, the game was played. We saw who won. It's what it is. So I don't like going back and retroactively take it, but I don't think you can also go back and retroactively say, well, this was against the rules at the time, and now it's not. So what happened back then, we're just going to act like it never happened. I don't think you can do it that way either. And again, if you took Reggie Bush's trophy away because you felt he violated rules and protocols, okay, we'll come back and say, hey, our bad. Maybe we overreacted or whatever. I don't think you want to say, well, it's not a rule anymore, so therefore, I don't think you want that to be your only basis for giving it back. Have a good reason to give it back to him, not just, well, the rules have changed, we took it from him, and now it's like, well, he got taken from him when the rules said one thing, and that was against what kind of the Heisman Trophy was about at that point.
Well, I think it's going to be given back because
I'm not going to cry about it.
It's because of the peer pressure they're going to get. Do they want to do it? Absolutely not. The people who does the Heisman are like, no, but I think it's going to be enough peer pressure that they are going to eventually do it. Do I think it's going to be this year, or do I think it's going to be in a few years when they get even more stuff around them where it's going to be more of a problem if they don't? And I feel like they will change it. Would I be mad if they didn't? No, I wouldn't be mad if they didn't. I'm
Reggie Bush biased.
Do I want him to get it? Yes, because I felt like that rule from the get-go, he should have never gotten in trouble for that in the first place. What was it? Someone bought his mom a house?
Yeah, he was getting money. Yeah,
well, I think he was, and again, I think that's how he got it out. Like I think his mom got a house because he was playing at Southern Cal. I think that was kind of the boosters basically paid for them to have a house.
That sounds lame to me.
Well, that's the rules that are in place. That's what you're trying to prevent happening, I guess. Now, I saw somebody put out a tweet, said like University of Georgia sent out an email to their booster saying, look, you can contact our student athletes to do autograph sessions and things of that nature.
Never thought I'd see the day.
As long as it's for fair market value. Well, unfortunately, nobody knows what fair market value is right now. So, I mean, you literally could have somebody say, hey, man, I'm going to give you $100,000 for that autograph. Is it worth that? No, but I'm giving it to you anyway. And I want you to make sure you stay at Georgia and finish up. I mean, that's kind of the same deal that you're talking about with Reggie Bush through a different mechanism, basically, is what you're saying. Again, it's going to be interesting to see how this continues to play out and how you monitor what is fair market value, because if there is no market, I can say it is whatever I want. And you could have boosters telling guys, hey, I know you're committed to University of Georgia. Once you enroll at school, I'm going to give you an endorsement deal and give you this much money if you sign with Georgia. If you don't, I mean, is that not any? I mean, that's basically legalized what people are doing under the table now. So I think that's going to be an interesting kind of next step in this thing, where you reach out and say, well, why are you in contact? Well, we were just pre-negotiating an endorsement deal, a licensing deal, a likeness deal, and he just hadn't signed yet. We didn't know where he was going to go. We were just like, hey, wherever you sign, wink, wink. We were just working out a deal. So once he was enrolled and on campus, we were good to go.
So it'd be like, once he enrolls to Georgia, you know,
already have a deal.
He can have a deal.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to,
and that deal may become null and void if, say, you wind up in
Auburn
or something.
Oh, you want to go to Cincinnati? Yeah. You know, I feel like we're not going in the right direction, and I feel like our money would be placed otherwise. I think Brock would be a little bit more. You know, I think we're going to go that direction.
But again, this is going to be an interesting development on this, Cam, because I just find it fascinating to see how the market develops, what kind of creative ways players are able to go out and brand themselves. Again, because I think people still think of it traditionally as like, hey, I'm going to, take a photo shoot. I'm going to do this, that, what have you, where it's camps. You can sell your own merch with it now. Obviously, you can do your own social media. You can work deals just to get merch from a company.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited because now we know YouTube is a huge outlet. Now you can see a whole bunch of these college players on YouTube promoting themselves. I remember years ago, Todd Gurley is my favorite Bulldog of all time. He got in trouble for signing the jerseys and stuff like that and got suspended during the season. But I'm excited. I think this is a great thing for college football. Well, not college football, college sports in general, because it's social media based nowadays. And it's only the beginning. Just this $2 million deal right here is just only the beginning. It's going to be something bigger in the near future. I can definitely tell you that.
And I think as we talked about yesterday on 3 and Out, I think the specialized sports are the ones that are going to end up actually kind of banking, because there's a bunch of football players out there as well. But you talk about getting the top gymnast or the top, lacrosse player or something where it's like, hey, you are the number one guy. Pretty much you have a following. People know who you are in the sport. Everybody agrees. We want to make you the face of our lacrosse gear. So like when people go to find out about buying lacrosse gear, boom, there's your face. Or gymnastics. They're already talking about, the young lady at LSU and a couple of the girls at UCLA that are very popular gymnasts, popular around the gymnastic, world, when you're talking about young girls in gymnastics and others possibly signing $1 million deals to promote gear, where it's like, hey, you gonna compete? This is the hand tape we use. This happens already in pro sports. I mean, you see guys, hey, here's so and so with the mouth guard. Here's so and so with the elbow guard or the ear. I mean, they do everything. I think you're going to see a lot of that, especially in specialized sports, where one person can really reach the market for that particular sport because it's so specialized.
Well, not only that, there's a bunch of female athletes actually.
That's what I'm saying.
From what I was looking up that do quote unquote Instagram modeling. You know, they go out there, they're pretty women. You know, that's very rampant on Instagram, and they can't
not familiar with the gram,
and they can't get paid to be what every other girl in the nation is doing, you know what I mean? Or inspires to do now as a young woman in their early 20s, late teens, is to be like an Instagram model. They couldn't even do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you're pretty also, and you want to be a model, you can't make money off that.
Well, you can't now.
You can't, but now you can.
Yeah, you
so
can
it's
now.
going to open an avenue not only for male athletes, but female athletes.
We've got more to come here on Second Down. Stay with us. Kevin Thomas filling in for Christian Gokel, Cameron, Cody Queen here on Second Down. It is second down on this Friday. Kevin Thomas filling in for Christian Gokel, Cam Ursery, Cody Queen here with you on this Friday. Hawks game 6 on Saturday night. Braves and Marlins this weekend. And Christian Gokel will be back with you on Monday along with Cam and talk about how bad do you think Christian's going to be feeling on Monday. He's got, a big wedding this weekend that he was going to, I think. And he was like, oh, man, it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
I'm going to show you a picture. I'm not going to put it up or anything like that. He's pulling a prank on his buddy, I guess, for his wedding. I told him to get on freaking Xbox the other night.
Oh, yeah.
And the only thing he sends me back, a picture of him in a dress.
What's
so
going
apparently
on?
He is going to.
Lord.
Hopefully his buddy doesn't listen to this.
Sounds like a party going sideways.
He's going to. I hope I ruined it because I am the biggest spoiler this office has ever seen.
That is true. Cam, before we got to hear, I got into Game of Thrones late, and so I'm watching, and then Cody had already seen it. So then I get caught up, and Cody has a way to, let's say, preview some of the episodes that come out, and he says, "quote." He sends me and Christian and PJ all a note. He's like, "Oh, look at this!" And basically ruined an entire episode of Game of Thrones. He's like, "What? You could have watched it already." He's like, "Actually, no, we couldn't have."
Come on, Cody.
No, dude, I don't care. Ruthless.
Yeah, Cody.
That's why when people are like, "Oh, I don't want to ruin it for you," go ahead, dude. I don't care. Tell me the whole season. I don't care.
You are, but you ruin stuff for people.
I do.
You're like, "I already saw it. Here's what happened." Oh, no, too late.
People care so much.
I think Cody said one time, you literally said, "What? You've had plenty of time to see it. I don't care. I'm letting it go." So
yeah, I give you
out 2 days.
24 hours. I will give you 24 hours. Comes out at 9:00 on Sunday. It's getting released 9:00 on Monday.
Night, you're gonna react to.
Oh no.
Yeah, gotta stay away. Gotta stay away
That's
from
not right.
Cody. Stay off the social media.
I'll post on social media too. Oh yeah.
Stay off social media if there's something you don't want ruined.
So when the dragon in Game of Thrones became an ice dragon, I freaking put up the eyeball of the blue eyeball, and everybody's mad at me.
Yeah, ruined it in a big way. Yeah, I was not happy about that as well.
Yeah, we're not doing an outro today. We can do
no outro today. All right, well, Cody, we will see you on 3 and Out. Cam, have a great weekend, and we'll hear from you on Monday, man. This is Second Down. Christian will be back on Monday as well.